Welcome back again to another video lecture on C# programming, and in this video lecture, we'll go ahead and look at relational operators. C# development, we've looked at arithmetic operators, and here we'll go ahead and look at relational operators. So what are relational operators? These are one of the operators that are needed every day in life in C# programming. So you can't do without it because it must always occur. One is that you must always make decisions, and that whenever you want to make decisions in C#, the first thing you need is the relational operators. That will help you to be able to compare things, to be able to check out if this meets this condition or not. Now let's go ahead and look at some of the relational operators we have in C#. We have double equal sign. So this helps you to check if the two operands are equal or not. Maybe if A or B or Z or Y or X are equal. So you use this, you can call that equal sign or equivalent. So if this is equivalent to this, then this goes ahead and do this. The next one is not equal. So this will help us to check if X and Y are not equal. So if X and Y are not equal, that means this is true. Alright, it's different from the first one we did. If this checks if X and Y are equal, then it means that it's true. Alright, but if this checks that X and Y are not equal, that means it is true. The next one is the less than or the greater than. So if there's a greater than sign, it helps you to check if X or Y is greater than the other. So anyone that is greater is dependent on where X is. Let's say if X is here and Y is at opposite, you check if X is greater than Y. So if X is greater than Y, that means it is true. Alright, so that is here like X or Y. So if X is not equal to Y, that is true. And then if X is equal to Y, that means this is true. So I believe that we have also understand this. Okay. So here, if X not equal to Y, that means it's true. And if X is greater than Y, that is true. And the next one is if X is less than Y. So the sign less than sign helps us to check if X is less than or any variable you put in there. So when X is less than Y, that means that is true. Alright? We have another one similar. Let's say X is greater than or equal to Y. So here it checks if X is greater than Y or if X is equivalent to Y. Let's say if X is 10 and Y is equal to 10, that means this condition is true. Or if X is 10 and Y is 9, that means this condition is true. But if X is 10 and Y is 15, that means this condition is false because X is less than Y. Alright? Now, the last but not the least is, let's say X less than or equal to Y. Here checks if X is less than or equal to Y. So if X is equal to 10 and Y is equal to 10, that means this condition is true. If X is 5 and Y is 10, this condition is still true. And if X is 15 and Y is 10, then that means this condition is false. Alright? So these are some of the relational operators we have in C# programming. We'll go ahead and write some simple code that we have us to look at then. So we have looked at less than or equal, greater than or equal, less than, greater than, not equal, and equal. Okay? Now let's go ahead and write a simple code that will help us to illustrate the use of these. Let's say we have int X to be equal to 10 plus semicolon and int Y to be equal to 15 plus semicolon. Now let's go ahead and say if X is equivalent to Y. So if X is equivalent to Y, then what it means is, let's go ahead and say console console dot, right line. Then go ahead and say hello true. Alright? Hello true. Go ahead and put a semicolon at the end. And else. So else, if that is not true, let's go ahead and say console dot, right line. Then let's go ahead and say low false. Alright. Go ahead and put semicolon at the end. Then go ahead and put console dot, read key. Alright, so we can be able to keep this steady. Go ahead and put semicolon at the end. Now we have to check if x is equivalent to y. If the condition is true, go ahead and print as hello true. Else, if that is false, go ahead and print as low false. Let's go ahead and run this code and check it out. So you can see low false. The simple trick is because x is 10 and y is 15, so this is not equivalent. Okay, they're not equal. But let's go ahead and change. Let's change y to be equal to 10, and let's run this code and check it out. So, hello true, can you see that? Because both x and y are equal. X is 10 and y is 10. Alright, now let's go ahead and put this back to its original position, and that is 15. And now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and remove this and put not equal. So this type of that x is not absolutely not equal to y. So it will give us hello true. Run this code and check it out. Hello true. So this condition not equal tells us that x is not equal to y, because we said if x is not equal to y, go ahead and say hello true. Else, go ahead and say hello false. Go ahead and close this. Now if go ahead and put equal if x is equal to y, and change. Alright, so let's put that to be 10, and go ahead and change this to put it back to not equal. And then run this code to tell you low false. Can you see that? So this condition says if x is not equal to y, say hello true, else go ahead and say hello false. Because x and y are equal, that means it is false. So we'll check the condition when it is not true. Alright? Now we have another one we discussed, and that is greater than. So go ahead and put this. So if x is greater than y, go ahead and print out hello true. Else is go ahead and print out hello false. But in this condition, x and y are 10. Now go ahead and print out. It's going to say hello false. So you can see that we have hello false, because x is neither greater than nor less than y. Now we have less than. Okay, we see how greater than, and let's change the value of y to be equal to 15. And let's run this code. So if x is greater than 15, it's greater than y. And if you still give us false, go ahead and change x to be 20. Let's get true at this point. Because x is 20 and y is 15, that means it's going to print out hello true. So I have hello true here because x is greater than y. Alright? So that is applicable to less than and greater than or equal. So greater than or equal says, let's say I have x and y to be 20/20. 20/20 means if x is equal to, or if x is greater than or equal to y, go ahead and print hello true, and this is going to print as hello true. Check it out. But at 20/20, hello true because they are equal. Alright? So that is applicable to less than or equal. Go ahead and play around with those ones, the assignments, so you can be able to try them out and play around with them so far to help you to master what is going on behind the scene and If you have any question, please go ahead and use the question and the answer section, and I'm going to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you in the next video lecture.